So first question that I have is, do you know roughly how much we spend on taxis or transport in a school year?
Yep, so for 2024, the year was gone, we spent almost $14,000 for taxi and van hireage. But on top of that, we spent around about $52,000 on coaches and buses.
Do you think owning a school van would save the school money long term?
No.
Cool.
First and foremost, you have to purchase a vehicle. Okay. And at today's market rates, a 12-seater van is around about $75,000. One of the things, and speaking to other schools as well, one of the things they have said that on top of having a van, you're better to purchase a small trailer in order to carry equipment or bags and so on and so forth as well. So you put 75 together, and then $7,500 is $84,000 initial outlay just for the purchase of the van and supporting equipment. For Mairehau High School, given the environment that we reside in, one big consideration for us would be the safety and security of a van, and so that would mean that we would have to invest in building or having erected a double garage and a high ceiling double garage to accommodate the van and the trailer. So that's around about $60,000.
So that's based on the fact we've had people come on site, take handles off the doors of the hall and things like that. Yeah.
Well, we did used to have a van.
Oh yeah.
It was a gifted van, and it was broken into and vandalised so many times that it wasn't worth holding on to. We actually sold it for scrap metal.
Wow.
Got about $400 for it.
Hey, that's good to know.
Yeah. So having worked at Mairehau College in Auckland as well, they had 3 school vans up there, much bigger school than Mairehau High School. They had all 3 vehicles broken into, all the windows smashed and so on and so forth. So the cost to repair that and replace that was far more than having a garage. So for us, if we talk about all of those sorts of things, just the initial purchase of a vehicle would cost us around about $142,000. So if you think about that, then in terms of how much do we spend a year on taxis and vans, $14,000, $142,000 is the equivalent of 10 years of taxi and van charges.
$142,000 divided by 14,000 equals 10.1428571429. Therefore, buying a new van works out to be 10 times more expensive than hiring one.
On top of that, the annual maintenance and running of the school van is anywhere between $10,000 and $17,000 a year. And that's to cover things like fuel consumption, insurance, registration, warrants of fitness, your day-to-day running costs. That figure between $10,000 and $17,000 is based on information from other category schools. And again, it depends upon the usage and the distance travelled and the fuel consumption. And they've also indicated that it can cost anywhere between about $6,000 to just administer having a vehicle on site.
Wow.
So over and above your initial outlay, you've got anywhere sort of between $22,000 and $26,000 a year just to administer and maintain your vehicle.
According to Rowena, the total cost of a new van is $142,000. On top of that, the yearly cost of owning this van would be $22,000.
Are there any other financial challenges that would would come up if we bought a van?
I think that the primary challenge is really funding the initial outlay, the initial $142,000. And you've got to have the cash available to do that.
Would doing a payment plan or hire purchase kind of assist with those issues, or would that still be too pricey?
If you buy via a lease agreement or a hire purchase, then that can be sustained or spread over, say, a 3-year period. So your initial outlay is not as much, obviously, a third of 142 is whatever it is. You're looking at maybe $50,000 initial outlay, but that's $50,000 over a 3-year period. On top of that, you are paying finance leases, so your interest rates continue to increase.
Buying via finance or lease can be good if you don't want to pay all the money at once. But you will end up paying more because of interest.
Interest is the extra money you have to pay when you buy something now but don't pay for it all at once. Even though you are spreading the payments over time, you will eventually end up paying more.
You kind of need to be able to have an assurance that if you go for a purchase or lease program, you've got to have evidence that you can afford it, confidence that you're going to continue to receive the level of income that you need to be able to sustain and pay your monthly or quarterly lease fees. And bear in mind that any reneging on those fees costs you money as well, and also can seriously damage your financial credibility.
How do you decide whether a big purchase like this fits into a school budget?
Okay, so there's quite a number of things that the finance committee and the board, in the first instance, have to consider. First and foremost, does this fit with the strategic plan and the goals of the school? What are the priorities of the school in respect of where the funding goes to? And who are the primary benefits? Is it a benefit for all, or is it a benefit for a select few? And can we sustain the ongoing costs associated with it? Does our operations grant enable us to sustain the cost? We also need to think about what are other funding options as well. Is sponsorship an option? Is fundraising an option?
Can you tell me a little about the operations grant? What that is?
So the operations grant covers about everything that the school pays for apart from teachers' salaries. So if we were to have a school vehicle, then the cost of that would come out of the operations grant. And the ministry won't generally fund or provide additional funding for a vehicle. The funding for that generally will come from any savings that the school might have.
In your opinion, is it a smart investment that should we keep using the tax season?
From a purely financial perspective, it's not a smart investment. We would need to, I think, look at sourcing funding outside of the school's funds, fundraising, getting sponsorship, going to a car dealer and saying, hey, have we got a plan for you? And that is, you provide us the vehicle, we'll provide the advertisement with our name on it. So, for instance, Hotman's we could go to them and say, would they be interested in having Mairehau High School as a representative of their business, and vice versa. Yeah, so that's something that we could look at. But from my perspective, given just the financial situation, taking 142k out of our bank and spending up to 150% more each year on what we're currently spending with taxis and vans, just doesn't make fiscal sense.